The battle for the ultimate high-resolution sensor has just taken a turn that Sony and Canon didn't see coming, because while the entire industry was distracted by the speed of stacked sensors and the race for frames per second, Nikon was quietly engineering a resolution breakthrough that could redefine the landscape of professional photography. Everyone has been talking about speed, blackout-free shooting, and capturing sports at 120 frames per second, but there is a massive segment of the market that has felt neglected in this race for speed. I'm talking about the landscape photographers, the commercial architects, and the high-end studio portrait artists who do not care about speed as much as they care about base ISO, tonal gradation, and pure, uncompromising detail. If you're the type of photographer who needs to crop 50% into a frame and still have a gallery-quality image, then everything you currently own might feel obsolete by the end of the year, because today we are deep diving into the leaked architecture of the upcoming Nikon Z7 III. This camera is shaping up to be the new king of resolution, and we are looking at a potential 67 to 90 megapixel sensor, the integration of red cinema color science, and a processing engine that finally bridges the gap between medium format quality and mirrorless agility. So you need to pay close attention, because Nikon is no longer playing catch-up, they are setting the pace. The photography world is currently in a state of high-speed obsession, where every flagship release lately has been about how fast the camera can shoot, but the Nikon Z7 III is destined to rule a different realm. Let's talk about the heart of this machine, which is the sensor, because the current leaks suggest a massive shift from the 45.7 megapixel sensor we have seen for years. We are looking at two primary possibilities that have the industry buzzing, and the first is a 67 megapixel BSI CMOS sensor, which is likely sourced from a partnership involving Tower Jazz or a custom Sony silicon design. This would already be a significant jump, but the more disruptive rumors point toward a staggering 90 megapixel superpixel architecture. This matters because Nikon is reportedly implementing a cross-pixel packing technology, which would allow the camera to shoot at ultra-high resolution in bright light, but effectively bend those pixels in low light to maintain the incredible signal-to-noise ratio that Nikon is known for. For the US and European professionals who often work in challenging architectural or studio environments, this means the Z7 III could potentially replace the need for a Fuji GFX medium format system. You get the resolution of medium format with the speed and lens selection of the Z-mount, and that is a value proposition that is hard to ignore. However, resolution without processing power is a bottleneck, and this is where the Z7 III gets its most critical upgrade, because it is expected to house the Expeed 7 processor, the same brain found in the powerhouse Z9 and Z8. The previous Z7 II used dual Expeed 6 processors, which were capable but struggled with complex subject tracking. But by moving to the Expeed 7, the Z7 III will inherit the flagship AI-driven autofocus. We are talking about dedicated algorithms for birds, planes, cars, and most importantly for portrait pros, the most sticky eye detection Nikon has ever produced. Imagine shooting a high-fashion editorial where the model is moving fluidly, and with the Z7 III, you're getting 90 megapixels of data with an autofocus system that doesn't miss a single eyelash. This combines the detail of a studio camera with the reliability of a sports camera, creating a hybrid beast that has no direct competition in this specific niche. Now let's address the red elephant in the room, because since Nikon's acquisition of Red Digital Cinema, the industry has been waiting to see that DNA in a Z-series body. The Z7 III is rumored to be the first high-resolution hybrid to truly benefit from this. And while the Z8 is the mini Z9 for speed, the Z7 III is being positioned as the cinema stills powerhouse. We are expecting internal 8K recording at 30 or even 60 frames per second, but the real kicker is the 10-bit and 12-bit in-RAW integration. For the premium content creator, this means having red-tier color science in a body that fits in a standard backpack. This allows filmmakers to capture cinematic footage with incredible dynamic range and flexibility in post-PR production without needing a massive rig. It effectively blurs the line between a high-end photography tool and a cinema camera, making it an all-in-one solution for multimedia professionals who refuse to compromise on image quality. One of the most requested features for the Z7 III has been a better physical interface for high-angle and low-angle shooting, and rumors suggest Nikon is moving away from the simple tilting screen and adopting the 4-axis multi-angle LCD found on the Z8. This is a game-changer for landscape photographers who often shoot in vertical orientation on a tripod because it allows you to see your composition clearly from any angle without contorting your body. Combine that with an electronic viewfinder that is expected to hit 4,000 nits of brightness, essentially making it as clear as an optical viewfinder even in the midday Californian or Australian sun, and you have a tool that is built for the elements. Speaking of the elements, the build quality of the Z7 III is expected to remain Nikon tough. While it will likely be smaller and lighter than the Z8, the weather sealing is reportedly being stepped up to match the D850 standard, which is legendary for its durability. For the travel photographers watching, this is the Goldilocks camera because it has enough resolution for National Geographic, but is small enough to not require a chiropractor after a day of hiking in the Alps. There is one more pro feature that hasn't been talked about enough, and that is pixel shift. While the Z7 II lacked a dedicated high-res shot mode, the Z7 III is rumored to feature an advanced 240-megapixel pixel shift mode with motion compensation. For heritage archives, art reproduction, and product photography, this feature alone justifies the upgrade. It uses the in-body image stabilization system, which is now rumored to provide up to 8 stops of stabilization, to micro-shift the sensor and capture full-color information at every pixel site. This results in images with unparalleled color accuracy and detail that far exceeds what a single shot can produce. But the big question remains, when can we actually buy it? The consensus among industry insiders points toward a late 2025 or early Q1 2026 announcement. Nikon has historically been careful not to cannibalize Z8 sales, but now that the Z8 has matured in the market, there's a clear resolution-shaped hole in their lineup. As for the price, expect it to land in the $3,000 to $3,500 range. It is a premium price point, but for a tool that can theoretically outperform a $6,000 medium format body, the value proposition for a working professional is undeniable. In my honest opinion, this camera represents a pivotal moment for Nikon. For years, the Z7 line felt like it was living in the shadow of the Z9 and Z8, which were the speed demons stealing all the headlines. But the Z7 III seems to be Nikon remembering its roots and understanding that there's a massive audience that prioritizes image quality above all else. If the rumors of the 90-megapixel sensor with cross-pixel packing are true, this isn't just an upgrade. It is a category-defining product. It bridges the gap between full-frame convenience and medium-format fidelity in a way we haven't seen before. The inclusion of the Expeed 7 processor is the safety net that ensures all that resolution doesn't come at the cost of usability. Usually, high-resolution cameras are slow and clunky, but Nikon is using their best processor to ensure the Z7 III remains snappy and responsive. This makes it a viable tool not just for landscapes where the subject is still, but for weddings, events, and high-end portraits where moments happen fast. The red integration is the cherry on top, essentially giving you a cinema camera B-cam inside your photography workhorse. If you're a landscape veteran, a commercial filmmaker, or just someone who obsesses over detail, this camera is shaping up to be a defining piece of kit for the next 5 years. It proves that Nikon isn't just reacting to Sony or Canon anymore. They're innovating on their own terms. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to stay updated on every leak and firmware update as we get closer to the launch, make sure to subscribe to the channel, share this video with your fellow photographers, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload.